Hey, new mama of two. I'm 21-year-old mama from Miami, and you can call me Kay. I was in a long-term relationship with my best friend for 3 years. Hold on, I hear crying. I can't tell if it's Salem or Bellamy. It's Salem. We never got into an argument as bad as it did Sunday morning, April 15th. My daughter was watching videos on my ex's phone and handed it to me because she mistakenly pressed his message that popped up. And girl, all the tea was spilled. He didn't physically cheat, but having the most inappropriate conversations with a bitch that don't like me because she was his closest friend before I came in the picture. The devil's a liar, girl. The devil is a liar. You see, God works in mysterious ways, okay? Your daughter was supposed to have his phone that day. Your daughter was supposed to be watching videos on his phone, and that message was supposed to pop up at that very moment that she handed you the phone. All this happened for a reason, so I'm glad you're calling him your ex in this email because it means you took the fucking cue. When I found out, I cannot lie, but I put my hands on him first because when I was calm and asking him questions, he was standing there looking like I was stupid or something. So I went and threw the TV at him. What was it, a 30-inch? Because how you throwing a whole ass TV at somebody? What the hell? Because of that, he retaliated and hit me back in my arm hard. And for the dumb ass that has something smart to say, my child was nowhere near the situation or even heard us. She didn't hear a big old TV fly across the room? Well, your house must be real big, girl. We both ended up realizing how everything escalated very quickly like it never has before and talked it out and agreed we don't want the same things at the moment. I'm ready to settle down and I'm the first girlfriend he has ever had and he just wants to explore around before he settles down. So at the moment we're just going to work on ourselves before we can even consider being together after that situation. No. What are you doing back in here, little girl? Busting my door open. You're in a better mood already? What the heck? Now my question to you is, how do I cope with being single after being with someone who is exactly like me? Well, girl, just act like he was never there. What you mean? If he's exactly like you, it's like you were just by yourself the whole time, dealing with yourself. And I know this is kind of dumb. But if we are meant to be together sometime in the future, would I be wrong if I chose to take him back? P.S. We are both fire signs. No, Salem. Aries girl and Sagittarius boy. Woo! Sagittarius men? No, girl. How do you feel about Sagittarius men, Mom?
I have no feeling towards them.
The devil. Oh my gosh.
You can't. Not all of them are like that.
Who said?
Nurture.
No. I can't tell you what's wrong. You know what's right for you and what's wrong for you. You know, I can't tell you can't go and date this person again. Like, people take time apart and they mature and they come back and be together in the future all the time. That's something that people actually do. What are you doing, Miss Ma'am? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, no, you can't date this person even though you threw a whole TV at them. Like, that's toxic behavior. But because this is the first time this happened and you hit him with the TV, he hit your arm hard, but you guys, after the fact, were able to be two adults and talk about it and say, we're both wrong in this situation, let's take some time apart. I feel like there's hope for you guys. Me personally, I ain't into throwing no damn TV because who gonna replace that bitch, huh? That's about to come out of my damn pocket. I don't think so. Excuse me. Can you put this on? Kisses? Oh, you're so nice. Now you got lipstick on your... You look like you have a goatee. Oh, you wanted lipstick? Here. What did you want?
Going after. You know
oh my God, Salem. You kissed me so that you could have boobies? That's not nice. Go to Grandma.
Come, Mama.
You look like Captain Hook.
You want ice cream?
Ooh, ice cream.
Come, Grandma give you ice cream. Come.
So yeah, I feel like if you guys both go away and mature, you guys can come back and have a healthy relationship because you guys already know you took it too far already. So Hopefully that's not something you would do again. But it's good that you guys both saw that side of each other, because now you know what kind of person you both are. It's good and healthy in a sense to see what angers your partner and how they deal with that anger. You threw a TV because you was hot and he hit you back because he felt that you deserved that. I personally, like, if I had a son and he had a girlfriend and the girl was beating on his ass and he hit her back after trying to restrain himself from hitting her back, like, I'm not going to be upset with my son. At the end of the day, you don't put your hands on no fucking body, okay? You cannot put your hands on these people and expect them to not put their hands back on you. We have been raised with the mentality that a man should not hit a woman. And it's very right. But a woman should also not hit a man. Sometimes these niggas deserve that shit, though. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, sometimes they do things that, because you know what kind of woman you've been for them, if they turn around and do something disgusting out of character, something that you would never do to them, when they do that shit to you and you don't know what else to do with that anger, it comes out of the palms of your hands, girl. Okay, that's just what happens. But it doesn't make it right. And I'll use Rihanna and Chris Brown as an example of that, because we know that she hit him and then he lost fucking control. A lot of situations are like that. But we just cannot live life like that. Like, you just can't put your hands on people. You can't be throwing TVs at people. But as long as you know you're wrong and you can come back from that, then you're good. Apart from that, though, I don't think you have time to be concerning yourself with how do you cope with being single, because at the end of the day, you're not alone. You have a daughter and she's who you have to live for. So you don't have time to be worrying about how do I cope with being single. You have other things to occupy your time, like your child. So that's that on that, girl. Fuck niggas, get money. Hey, Bo. I would love some advice. I've been on and off with this guy for 5 years. During the times we were together, he was always flirting with other bitches. No surprise here, okay? The is too damn friendly. I hate a friendly ass bruh, LMAO. So I wasn't trying to be in no type of relationship or nothing, but I wanted to be a mom, and he would be a good baby daddy. And I hit him up like, yo, I want a baby, what about you? And he was like, yeah, sure, let's have a baby. I'm trying to get you pregnant. Basically, we fucked and I scheduled it around my ovulation cycle and I got pregnant. On a scale of 1 to dumb, retarded, okay? Forgive me, I know that is not a politically correct term, but I feel like in this moment, it's acceptable. Sue me. On another note, this email was actually previously read when I did Botox Live on Instagram Live. If you know, then you know. That was 2 years ago. He's a good dad to our son, but he's still be constantly flirting and talking to other females whenever I'm around him. Like, I'm not talking to no niggas. Why are you texting bitches? And he's like, we're not even together like that, so why you acting crazy? And he's right. What the fuck do you mean, why aren't we together? Like, I mean, what the fuck do you mean? Why is he texting bitches? You guys are not a couple. You guys were never a couple. You wanted to go half on a baby with a man that had no intention on committing to you. Bitch, you deserve everything coming to you, period. I was like, shut the fuck up, nigga. We have a whole child. You can show me the decency of not talking to no girl. No, like, you clearly wanted more than you said. You were trying to trap this man and it did not work. So sorry about it. And I am loyal to him and I still have sex with him, but it's no strings attached. Bitch, you trying to attach a string, all right, okay? The only string you need to be attaching is your damn tampon string. Like, this is too much. Recently, he's been talking about introducing my son to some bitch. I'm like, hell the fuck nah. Ain't no stepmama. How he gonna say that he's moving on and still having sex with me and treating me like a girlfriend and we have a whole ass child together? Why can't he be loyal to just me? Cause you're a fucking idiot. Like, realistically, I can't even believe I'm rereading this email. The man is allowed to date whoever he wants to date, as you are allowed to date whoever you want to date. You stated that there's no strings attached, but yet here you are trying to attach all the damn strings like your name is damn Geppetto and this man is Pinocchio. Like, no, he's not a puppet. This is too much. He can date who he wants. He can have a girlfriend. He can introduce your child to his girlfriend if this is somebody that he's going to be in a relationship with long term. If you are offering him Ponani, he's gonna freaking take it. Now, if he enters into a new relationship with somebody and he decides he no longer wants to have sex with you because he's trying to be faithful to that person, that's something you're gonna have to accept too. And you cannot be going out of your way to dash your pom pom at him. Like, you're trifling. And just because somebody is treating you like a girlfriend does not mean you are their girlfriend. If they didn't say, hey, with you now, want to be with you, only you're my boo, then they're not your man, they're not your girl. You can have as much sex as you want with somebody. That is not going to make them commit to you, period. He gets on my nerves so much, I'm sick and tired. We don't live together, but I want us to all move in and be a family, but he says he's not ready for all that. So, like I said, it's clear that you had other intentions for this man, and he's not having it. You thought he was going to do the right thing and stick with you. But if you opened your big fat mouth and said to him, I just want to have a baby by you, let's co-parent, and that's what he's trying to do, and now you're trying to be a family, where in your little pea brain did you think that this was going to work out in your favor? Like, but best believe if I was talking to other he would be pissed, especially if I got pregnant again. And there is this one boy I've been talking to who says he wants me to have his child, and I warned my baby daddy, if he don't get his shit right, I will be having the other guy's baby. But he told me, nah, you only having my kid. So he's been acting right and told me he'll drop her. Okay, both of you guys are dumb. I can't. Why are you just ready to dash out and freaking have babies by Tom, Dick, and Harry? Like, who does that? Have some self-respect, okay? Have some decorum. Have some fucking sense. Because I don't understand how you are so willing and ready to just have people's babies. Like you're a fucking baby factory, a baby making machine. That's not who you are as a person. You need to do some self and internal searching and find out why you feel like this is the life you want to live. And if that sounds judgmental, then fuck it. It's judgmental. But I found out that they've been still while he's me and saying we're trying for another child. How can he cheat on me and say he wants a family? It doesn't make sense. Girl, obviously this is a troll because I actually replied to this email with LOL. He's not cheating on you because you guys are not together, so you need to understand that. This is obviously a fucking troll, so everything you said in this email is bullshit. But let's pretend that it's not for 1 second. Let's pretend that it's not bullshit. And this is something that somebody's really fucking dealing with. The only thing that doesn't make sense here in the situation is you questioning what his problem is when you are the fucking problem. You've already told me in this email on more than one occasion that you guys are not together. So you have no reason, you have no room to be jealous, to be pissed off, to expect anything from him but for him to be a good father to your child. That is something you can't take from him. And if that's what he's doing, then you need to keep it the fuck pushing. Okay? That's that on that. There's something about two scrolls that you guys just don't seem to understand. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm 23. I'm graduating university this year. Congrats. With my bachelor's in public health, and this will be my second college degree. I know that everyone moves through life at their own pace, but I'm ready to move away. Move away as in out of state and maybe even the country. I was thinking Canada. Well, I'll be. I live in New York. I have toxic ass parents. My ex-boyfriend, currently broke up with him, moved to Miami and refused to admit to me after getting in some trouble with the law. Scammer man. Well, I don't expect anything less than a New York nigga, okay? Scam. I just feel like it's time for new beginnings. I've been here all my life and I feel like I'm still a child here. Yes, it will always be home, but I'm ready to grow and get out of here. I wanted to know what advice you might have on moving and meeting new people, where I plan to move, being that it would be new to me and I would be completely alone. Love you much. Well, darling, I think starting over is one of the best things anybody can do. It's scary, but sometimes it's just what you need, you know? So in 2015 is when I decided to pick my ass up out of Toronto and move all the way to Ottawa, and I don't regret anything about it. Like, Toronto is so congested, it's so fast paced, and I wasn't sure what the fuck I was doing. I literally just put all my stuff in a suitcase and fucking moved. And I haven't really shared that whole experience with you guys yet, but it's something that I needed to do for myself because I was struggling so much in Toronto and I was having such a hard time, and I just knew I needed a change of scenery. And I felt in those moments that if I changed my scenery and my life didn't change, then I am the problem. Something is wrong with me and I'm gonna have to reevaluate again. But luckily for me, removing myself from that environment really was one of the best things I've ever done. And now I'm like married and 2 kids and like all that great stuff. You know when it's time to do it. And as scary as it's gonna be, as scared as you are, you have to just bite the bullet. You have to just grab life by the fucking, or grab the bull by the horns and ride. And that's the only way to do it, because you just have to dive in. Like, you have to jump head first, you know, and not look back. And you can't think of how hard it's gonna be, how scary it's gonna be. You can't think of the negative things that could happen. You have to just have faith and hope for the best, and chances are it'll work out for the best. You don't have to be complacent, even though everybody around you might be. Everybody around you might be happy in New York and want to stay in New York for the rest of their life. New York's a beautiful city. But if you feel like there's more for you out there, then you need to just go. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. You just have to say, I need to do this, and go do it for yourself. If it doesn't work out, at least you know you can still go back home because your parents are there, whatever. Take a chance, a leap of faith, and see what happens. And I feel like meeting new people will come naturally. Like, you can meet somebody at the mall while you're shopping. Like, I met somebody just by shopping at Mac. You can meet people on Twitter. You can meet people anywhere. Like, at school. Well, you probably won't be going to school. You can meet people at your new job, and then those people can introduce you to people. Like, people are literally everywhere. So as long as you're not staying inside the whole time, you're not going to have any problem meeting new people in a new city. And because you're not from the city, people are going to take an interest to you automatically. So I say, live your best life. Okay, so this is the last one. Hi, Bo. I need advice on this because I have no one to turn to in my personal life, and I'm at the lowest point I've ever been at. I'm 21 years old and I work as a hairstylist in cosmetology school currently. I've been talking to this guy, let's call him Andre, on and off for 3 years, and he's always been wishy-washy and never consistent, so I never wanted anything serious. I've been on birth control since I was 14 and I've never messed up, but I still ended up getting pregnant. I found out I was pregnant in February, and when I went to confirm, I was 8 weeks along. That's usually when you find out, 8 weeks. The first thing I did was call Andre and let him know I was pregnant, and I didn't know what to do. He said we should keep the baby and raise it together and try to be a family. Well, what a nice guy. We became official that day. For a while, things were going good. I even moved in with him for a bit, but things went bad quickly. He's always wanted to go out and party, and when he does, he doesn't come back until noon the next day. Well, he's a party animal, honey. I announced a pregnancy when I was 12 weeks on my Instagram. Well, why'd you go and do that, girl? And he didn't even like the picture, but was liking pictures of other girls. I untagged him from the picture because he didn't even post anything on his page. This is childish. And I say this because social media was not there before. We do not have to show every little detail of our life on social media. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, if he's happy about the pregnancy, he told me to keep it. I mean, why wouldn't he post on his social media? Because he doesn't fucking have to. Like, I don't force Shooter to post things on his freaking social media. I don't think that's fair. Some people like to post, some people don't. And you don't owe the world that thing, you know? Like, I see people posting different things all the time on when they're just proud and they want to like show what they're doing in their life. They post it to social media. I feel like we're so consumed by it and we're so addicted to it, but it's really unnecessary if you think about it. I don't have to post jack shit on my social media. Like, bitch, I'm archiving posts more than I'm actually posting anything. I think it's childish because at the end of the day, if this were the 90s and the internet wasn't invented yet, okay, chances are you wouldn't give a fuck. There would be no way to publicly announce to thousands of people that you're expecting. Then I found out a few days ago he cheated on me with his ex and was talking to her the entire time he knew I was pregnant and was telling her he wanted to marry her. Well, see, now that is a problem. I'm now back living with my mom, but I don't want this life. I'm only 21. I don't want to be a single mom and ruin the rest of my life. My mom made it clear that she wasn't going to help out in any way. I do make good money doing hair on the side as I go to school, but a baby will take over my life in a way that I don't want. And see, folks, this is why if you are not ready for the responsibility of a child, sex might not be for you, okay? Even if you're on birth control, even if you are using condoms, spermicide, girl, if you are wishing on a prayer, sex leads to babies a lot of the time, especially when you're not ready for it. And so you have to consider that before you lay down with somebody, especially if this is somebody that has not shown you proper commitment. Like, in the beginning of the email, she was stating that he has never really been properly committed to her. And babies don't fix situations. And so you cannot come and be like, okay, I think we should be a family, and then you're turning around and talking to other women and telling them you want to marry them. That doesn't make any sense. That's why you can't try to do the right thing. Like, he's very wrong for everything he's doing, but at the same time, it's like he showed her from the jump that he was not able to give her stability. So she should have taken that as a lesson beforehand and made the decision earlier about what she wants to do with her pregnancy. Anyway, co-parenting is still on the table, but I don't want any parts with Andre because I need a fresh start. And how can I do that when I have a whole ass baby with him? You could definitely have a fresh start, even though, you know, he's gonna have to be in the picture simply for the fact that he's the child's father. But you guys don't have to be together, and you can move on and co-parent and have your own separate life outside of your relationship with him and the child. He'll forever be a part of my life, and no one cares when men have children, but if a woman does, then who will ever date her or take her seriously? Girl, bye. People date women with children all the fucking time. I think it's a very large misconception that it's hard to date when you have a kid. It's harder to date when you don't have kids, in my opinion, because I feel like everybody has damn kids. Okay? And before, when I was in the dating world, I always was like, I ain't trying to date nobody with no damn kids, because my first child has to be your first child. And so there's lots of women that don't want to date men that have kids just as much as there's men that want to date women that don't have kids. But there's also lots of men that don't give a fuck, and there's also lots of women that don't give a fuck. So don't think that that's not the case. I called the clinic that said they will set up a date before I'm 19 weeks, and I'm seriously considering going through with it and just telling everyone I had a miscarriage. I got the gender in an envelope, and it is unopened because I was planning on a gender reveal, but I am never going to open it because finding out the gender will make this even harder than it is. I'm a little confused because I feel like I I thought that the cutoff for a was 12 weeks. Am I wrong? I thought 3 months was the cutoff. How could a clinic agree to do it at 19 weeks? At 19 weeks, you're finding out the gender. I'm like confused. Is this a real email? Because they usually do not do gender scans until you're 19 weeks unless they did 13-week scan and they saw that you have problems, so they went and got blood to determine the sex of the baby early on. No clinic is doing past 3 months, and if they are, that is really insane. I'm pretty sure that puts you at an even higher risk of dying yourself. So I'm confusion. And if the clinic said they will set up a date before you're 19 weeks, that's why I'm really confused as is this a real email? Is this a real email or not? Because you're claiming that you already have the gender in an envelope when you shouldn't. Anyway, no one will know I had an except my cousin, who I consider my sister. I don't know what to do. I can't decide on whether I'm making the right choice. I don't want to do one or the other and then regret it for the rest of my life. Having a seems more fair than having a child I resent. No one else knows this but you. What do you think I should do? First of all, after 12 weeks and shouldn't even be on the table, I already expressed, you guys, I'm fucking pro-life. If you were not, if you were having casual sex with somebody and you fall pregnant, I don't personally think it's fair that you that child. Just because as an adult should not be used as contraception. That's not contraception, you know what I mean? When you're laying down with somebody, you have to accept or acknowledge the fact that no contraceptive is guaranteed except for abstinence and celibacy. Those are the only two contraceptives that are 100% foolproof and are going to work in your favor every single time. The problem with that is that it's not realistic. It's not realistic to tell people, hey, you don't want to have a baby, don't have sex. It's a lot easier said than done, because at the end of the day, we're human and we want pleasure. And I mean, you could find pleasure in a vibrator, but it's not the same as connecting with somebody on an intimate level. There's a lot of protests going on right now and a lot of laws being passed that should not be passed, because in my personal opinion, though I am pro-life, I do not agree with the ban, simply because I feel like the ban does more harm than good. And it's really nobody's business. Like, even though I'm pro-life, especially in terms of my own self, and I feel like as an adult you should be making responsible decisions for your own self, I don't feel that anybody should be able to tell you what to do with your body. I may not agree with it, but I'm not going to be standing outside and fucking holding up a fucking sign and yelling at people walking out of a I think that takes it to an extremist level, and it's too far, and it's not cool. And so I just mind my business and drink my fucking water. If you want to have an go fucking have an okay, bitch? That's between you and the good Lord up above. It ain't got shit to do with me. I don't care. But like I said, I also don't agree with it, because I just feel like it's irresponsible. Now, her issue is that she's going to, or that she feels like she would resent the child. To me, the child is innocent. And if you're past a certain point, you should not be allowed to have this. I'm still confused by her email, because to me, she's way further along to even be considering. And so if she's going to do anything, it should be give the child up for adoption. Now, these are all options that she could still end up regretting in the end, but it makes more sense to give that child up for adoption than it does to have an way later than you're supposed to. Like, the amount that a baby grows between 8 weeks and 13 weeks is drastic. My 7-week ultrasound versus my 13 or 13-week ultrasound with Salem, you see Salem was literally a freaking pea. She was the size of a pea in the 7-week or the 8-week ultrasound, and then in the 13-week ultrasound she had a full ass head. Like she had a whole body, she had a heart, like she had everything. So to me, the thought of a child past like 8 weeks is mind-boggling, because I've been through it. So I know how much a child has developed in that short amount of time. That's why you're actually so sick in those first few weeks, because your body is really, or the hormones are really developing there to help grow the tiny human. I can't wrap my head around it. But for somebody in her situation, I can't tell you what to do with your body. I can't tell you, you know, you should keep it. Maybe she should give it up for adoption, but at the end of the day, it's not my life. And this is one time in Botox where I'm not making the decision. Like, I refuse to make the decision for her. I'm pretty sure she already made it. I emailed her and asked her if she went through with it or not, because she sent me that email on April 22nd. Obviously, I was big pregnant at that time, and I was dealing with my own stuff. Like, I was not gonna even, I probably wouldn't even have read that. So yeah, this is the one time in Botox where I'm not even offering the advice, because at the end of the day, you're gonna make the decision that is best for you. I can't make that decision for you. I don't know what to tell you other than I wouldn't do it. So, and that doesn't help you in this situation. It really doesn't. Me putting myself in your shoes doesn't help in this situation, because at the end of the day, I know myself, and I know that if somebody wasn't showing me commitment, I would not have been having sex with them on a regular basis, and even putting myself in the position to get pregnant by them. Because you cannot tell me that you were using condoms, you were on birth control, and wound up pregnant. If you were using birth control and you were letting somebody raw dog you, that's not fully protecting yourself, and at the end of the day, you weren't being responsible. If that person then turns to you and says, I want to, you know, be a family, I want to do the right thing, you have to then look back and say, but wait, this whole entire time you've not showed me any kind of commitment. Why is a baby all of a sudden going to change that? You have to just take people for who they are. And that's the lesson here. Out of everything, he's not changed. He wasn't committed to you before. He told you, fed you sweet nothing lies, made you think he was going to commit to you all of a sudden because you're pregnant, and then went back to his old ways, doing what he's used to doing. I tell you guys all the time, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time, because you don't want to end up in these problems. And I don't know what you decided to do, because it's June something right now. You emailed me in April. I was busy, girl. What I do know is that you would have made the best decision for yourself. So if you decided to keep your child and now you're in love with your child, that's great. But if you decided to give your child up for adoption, or if you decided to go through with the those are all just things that in the long run you're gonna have to deal with. I'm not gonna have to deal with you keeping your child, so I'm not gonna tell you, hey, I think you should not have an or I think you should not give your child up for adoption, because I'm not the one that's gonna have to raise them at the end of the day. So, and being a mom is hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. It's fucking hard when, especially, I have 2 now, girl. Now my children they're both very small. They both really need me, and I have to give my attention equally to 2 people, and that's not including my man. So it's hard. Even with help, it's hard. So I'm not gonna sit here as a mom and be like to you, don't have or don't give your child up for adoption, even though those are just things I could never picture myself doing. I cannot fix my mouth to say those things, because I don't know what kind of life you've lived. I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know what you're going to go through in the future with this child. If your child has special needs and you can't take care of it, like, there's just so many different things. At the end of the day, if being a mom is something that you want to do, there's no question about it. And it doesn't matter how hard it gets or how hard it is. It doesn't matter if you're going to be a single parent or a co-parent or happily in a relationship with your entire family. None of that fucking matters if you want to be a mom, you're going to be the best mom you can be, period. There's just no question about it. So that's all I have to say about that. I know there's going to be a lot of comments based on this last one. Feel free to share. Drag me if you must. I love you all so much. If you would like to email me for Botox, Botox is back in full effect. I'm not pregnant anymore, so I can film. I love you so much. The email's in the description box, and yeah, I will definitely see you in the next one.